Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game 1 of the second semifinal of the 2015 Demolition League. This is between the number 2 seed New York Mets and the number 3 seed Seattle Mariners. Mets, being the higher seed, get the home field advantage in games 1 and 2. So since they are the home team, we will have pitchers hitting. Starting pitchers for today's game for the Mets, it'll be right-hander Jacob deGrom. And for the Mariners, it will be King Felix Hernandez. On the Demolition League replay, deGrom was 4-3 with a 2.38 ERA. Felix Hernandez was 3-7, but he had a 2.83 ERA, so just didn't get a lot of run support. But so the record's not very good, but his ERA was quite well. All right. You see the starting lineups for Game 1, along with the players on the bench and their bullpens. Nothing earth-shattering there. I think I tried to pick who I thought were the best representatives for the teams to be there and represent their teams in the playoffs. Doing the Mets as the home team, we're using Met-colored dice, blue, white, and orange. And we are just about ready to go. Hope you were able to watch the selection show for the game of the week, Saturday game of the week, the 6 seasons that were chosen, and you can vote accordingly if you like. And the voting will end on that on the 23rd. All right, so we're ready to go. Jacob deGrom will be facing Austin Jackson to lead things off. This is a Strat-O-Matic Advanced only. The only thing I'm going to use that is super advanced will be 2 things. One, if a runner's on second and the ball gets hit to the right-hand side, he will get third, no matter if it's B or A or whatever. And I'm going to be using the infield in chart and back chart here rather than on the advanced board. But all the stealings and everything are advanced. No ballpark effects, that sort of thing. I am using injuries. So if someone gets injured, they could miss the whole playoffs. All right, here we go. Game 1 is underway here at Citi Field. 3-7 for Austin Jackson, and he will ground it to short. One away as Wilmer Flores takes care of Austin Jackson. Not too much action there for Action Jackson. Here comes Seth Smith, the left fielder. 6-5 against deGrom. That's a ground ball shortstop X, so that's Wilmer Flores. Flores is not very good. He's a 4. 4-18, though, I believe is going to be okay. Should be enough to get it done. 4-18 is a ground ball B, which is good enough. So Flores makes the first 2 outs, or takes care of the first 2 outs. 2 up, 2 down for the league's leading hitter, Robinson Cano. He hit .343 in the replay. He was the league's leading hitter and the most valuable player. Cano, 6'10", and both pitchers have 6'12" for injuries, so 6'10" is quite all right. 6'10" is a ground ball third base X. That is Uribe. He's a 3. 3-8 and a 16. 16. 3 and a 16 is definitely good. That is a ground ball A, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob deGrom. And again, with the number 1 pitchers on the mound for each team, you would expect a low-scoring game, and that's what we have in the first half inning. That will do it for the Mariners. They go away empty-handed. Here comes King Felix, trying to get reborn here in the playoffs because the regular season he was 3-7, although his ERA was 2.83, which is nothing to sneeze at. All right, here's the Grandy man, Curtis Granderson, to lead it off. 2-4, ground ball to second. Cano will take care of it. 1 away. 1 down for Daniel Murphy, the second baseman. The Murph. 1-7, and he's going to ground to second as well, so Cano will take care of both of those. Easy 2 up and 2 down inning. And that will take us to Michael Conforto, left fielder. Get a 4-9 against the lefty. That's a 1-10 home run chance. He does have normal power, but that's a 17. It will, however, be a double. So Michael Conforto, a 2-out double. He does not run all that well, so he will not be held. As you got to be careful when you hold the runners in Strat-O-Matic, get that plus sign, and you give up a base hit. So the 2-out double by Conforto, and now that gives Seattle their first decision to make. Seattle manager Lloyd McClendon is going to decide whether to pitch to Cespedes or not. If you don't pitch to Cespedes, you can pitch around Cespedes or walk Cespedes, so to speak, and take your chances with Duda. And let's see how they want to play that. It's not playing the percentages lefty-righty, but you are talking about one of your better hitters, or one of the Mets' better hitters, so they will give the free pass to Yoenis Cespedes, and that'll leave it up to Lucas Duda with 2 on and 2 outs. Nobody being held on. Does the strategy pay off? 5-8, ground ball to first, inning's over. So apparently it did pay off. 5-8 would have been okay for the righty as well, but they tried to play what they thought was the best as far as batting average goes, not necessarily lefty-righty. And you don't want the best hitter to beat you. That's the philosophy they were going by. And they got away with it. So at the end of 1 inning of play here at Citi Field, it's no score between the Mariners and the Mets. Jacob deGrom back out. And for the Mariners, it will be Nelson Cruz, right fielder. 4-2 against deGrom, and that in super advanced would be a split chance, but in advanced, simply a fly out to Conforto and left. So 1 away, and that's going to send us to Kyle Seager, third baseman. .611, just missed that 612 injury. .611, fly to right, put away out there by Granderson. 2 up and 2 down. Go the M's. And that'll bring up first baseman Logan Morrison. Like I said, Seattle came out of nowhere to take that spot away from Boston. They swept they swept Tampa Bay the last 3 games of the season to get into the playoffs. 3-6 from Morrison against a right-hander. Look at this, 1-16 is a home run. That's a 12. It is long and it is gone. Logan Morrison, home run, as he takes that deGrom offering, deposits it over the right field wall. All Granderson could do was watch it. Morrison had 17 home runs in the 2015 regular season, so he definitely had the power, and he showed it. And the Mariners lead it 1-0. Shortstop Brad Miller. 2-7 for Miller. 1-17 is a single, so that's a base hit. So Brad Miller gets on. He's a B stealer, so he will have to be held. Don't think he's going to want to go anywhere. We'll be looking at a 13, then -3 for being held as a 10. And then you have Darno's arm. It's a 0, so it'd be a 50-50 proposition. Well, you know what? If you send him and he's safe, you get in scoring position. Get that runner in scoring position. But if you do that, then they could walk Zunino and pitch to Hernandez, so they're going to leave him be, and Mike Zunino will step up. That's a 4-9, and that's a strikeout for deGrom to end the inning. But damage done. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 favor of the Mariners. King Felix gets a lead to work with. See if he can take advantage. Due up for the Mets will be Wilmer Flores, shortstop. .17, and that's a solid single for Wilmer Flores. Solid single. He's an E stealer. He will not be held. But he gets the Mets going with a base hit to start the inning. And it sends us to Travis d'Arnaud. 1-4 for d'Arnaud. Ground ball third base A. That's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. 2 for the price of 1. And King Felix will take it. 2 down now. Bases clear of Mets. And that brings up the number 8 hitter, Juan Uribe. Two 7, and he's going to ground to short. Miller is there, and the inning's over. So the leadoff single goes for naught. The end of 2, it's 1-0 Mets. I'm sorry, 1-0 Mariners over the Mets. A little Freudian slip there. All right. DeGrom back out, and leading off will be King Felix. He is using pitcher hitting card number 1, not number 2. Pitcher hitting card number 1 for King Felix. But it's off DeGrom anyway. 4-12, and that's a fly to center. Cespedes is there, 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Austin Jackson. (2-9) for Jackson, and that's a fly to left. 2 down as Mr. Conforto puts it away. 2 up, 2 down. And it brings up Seth Smith. He grounded to short his first trip. 3-8 for Smith. He's going to ground it right back to DeGrom. Easy toss over to Duda, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning turned in by DeGrom. And we go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 favor of Seattle. And DeGrom will lead off. He does have his own pitcher hitting card. In the regular 2015 season, he was a 186 hitter in 59 at bats. So decent, but not really a threat. He does hit left-handed, even though he throws right-handed. Have to keep in mind he's a left-handed batter. So if we get off the pitcher card, we'll be in the blue area, not the red area. But we're under DeGrom. 2-3, and that is a ground ball to short. Miller is there. 2 down, or 1 down rather, to start the inning. That brings up Granderson as the order gets flipped. Granderson grounded to second his first chance. King Felix 4-4. That's a fly ball center field X. You're looking at Austin Jackson, who's a 3. 3 and a 12 is probably an error check for a center fielder. And it is. So we go to his error check. Austin Jackson's an E5. E5 and a 9 for a center fielder. E5 and a 9 is a fly ball B. So good play. Granderson flies out to Austin Jackson. 2 down for Daniel Murphy. (3-5) for Murphy. That's a solid double. So a 2-out double for Murphy kind of mirrors the 2-out double Conforto had in the first inning. But now it's Conforto, the batter. You're not going to walk him to pitch to Cespedes. So Conforto, who had that double his first time up, he steps to the plate. Murphy is not being held. 5-8 against the lefties. Ground ball to first. And Morrison will just step on the bag to end the inning. And again, a 2-out double goes for naught, as the Mets cannot come through. We played 3 here in Citi Field. It is Seattle 1 and the Mets nothing. DeGrom back out. He has a fatigue of 6, so he's still well within his fatigue range. And leading things off for the Mariners will be the league's leading hitter, Robbie Cano. A 1-8. 1-8 for Cano is a ground ball to second. Easy play for Murphy. 1 down for Nelson Cruz. Cruz flew to left field his first time up. 1-6. That's a 1-2 home run chance, but that's a 9. So that's just simply going to be a deep fly out to Conforto. Cruz got into it but didn't get all of it. 2 down. And the spacious Citi Field probably had something to do with that, even though we're not doing ballpark effects. And that will bring up Kyle Seager. 4-4. The lefty's a catcher X. Darno is a 3. 3 and a 9 for a catcher. 3 and a 9 goes to his error check. So Darno's error rating is a 2, E2. E2 and a 7 for a catcher. And that is a ground ball C. But doesn't matter, it's the end of the inning, so it's a 2-3 grounder. To end the inning, 1, 2, 3 go the Mariners in the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still 1-0 favor of the M's. And do it for the Mets. It'll be Cespedes, Duda, and Flores to take on King Felix. Cespedes was intentionally walked his first chance. 110 for Cespedes, and that's a ground ball to short. So Miller right there. Miller time. He's had a lot of action at short. One away. Brings up Lucas Duda. 4-8, and that's trouble for King Felix. 1-6 is a triple. 7-20 is a single. That's a 19, so it's a 1-out single for Lucas Duda. He will not be held. He's an E stealer, so obviously no threat to run there. Plus, Zunino is a -1 arm, so you'll really be in trouble if you did that. But a 1-out single from Duda brings up Wilmer Flores. 4-3 to a righty is a ground ball third base A, and once again another around the horn 5-4-3 double play. Twice as nice the second time. Second double play turned by the Mariners in 4 innings, and King Felix is loving it. So that's going to end the inning. 4 innings in the books here in New York. It's still 1-0 Seattle. That initial home run by Logan Morrison back in the second inning is still holding up. And speaking of Logan Morrison, he will lead off the top of the fifth. Well, of course, 1 for 1 with that home run. We get a 3-8, and that's, we could have another home run. All these hits in column 3, but the 3-8 is a line out to short. And Wilmer Flores makes the play. So Morrison is out. Brings up Brad Miller. He's been busy defensively. 4-4 for DeGrom is another catcher X. Going back to Darno, who's a 3. 3 and a 3. And that's simply a foul out. Nothing weird about that at all. Just simply a foul out. 4 out number 2. And that's going to send things to Zunino, number 8 hitter. 4-9 against DeGrom, struck him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Mariners again. DeGrom now has retired 10 in a row, but he's on the short end of a 1-0 ball game due to lack of support in the run column. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. And Travis d'Arnaud will lead things off for the Mets, taking on King Felix. d'Arnaud hitting to that double play in the second inning. 4-7 against a righty, struck him out. So Travis d'Arnaud having a rough offensive performance. Strike out in a double play, not what you want. Here's Uribe, followed by DeGrom. 1-4 for Uribe. He's going to foul out to Zunino for out number 2. So 2 down. And that sends it to DeGrom. 3-6 for DeGrom. Struck him out. That's going to end the inning. So 5 innings are in the books. And it's still 1-0. DeGrom, this will be his fatigue inning number 6. So we have to be cognizant of that. And let's see who's due up but King Felix. He will lead things off. Flew to center his first chance. 6-9, and that's a strikeout. So DeGrom, now 11 retired in a row. And back to the top of the order for Austin Jackson. 4-5, another strikeout. So DeGrom racking up the Ks. He struck out the last 3 he has faced. And here is Seth Smith. 2 outs, bases clear, top of the 6th. 111, and that's a walk. So a 2-out walk to Seth Smith will keep the inning going for the league's leading hitter, Robbie Cano. Cano is 0 for 2 in this game, though, so DeGrom has held him in check. He's grounded to third and grounded to second. Smith will not be held on. 2-9, and it's a fly to right, put away by Granderson to end the inning. Another 0 put up on the board by DeGrom, but will he get the run support? Mets can't score for him, seemingly. But they got a few more cracks at King Felix, see what they can do. For the Mets, leading things off will be the top of the order, Curtis Granderson. Granderson is 0 for 2. Grounded to second in the first, flew to center in the third. 1-9 for Granderson. It's going to strike him out. So King Felix still dealing. No signs of slowing down. So he strikes out Granderson. Here comes Murphy. Murphy's 1 for 2. He did double in the third, but was stranded there. 1-10, and that's a ground ball to third. So Seager is there. 2 down. And King Felix just keeps rolling. That'll bring up Conforto. Pitching duel is broken out here in Citi Field. Got a 3-5, and that's another strikeout. So King Felix matching Conforto, or matching DeGrom pitch for pitch. And had it not been for a Logan Morrison home run, this game would be scoreless. DeGrom gave up just a walk in his first inning of fatigue, so he's still good to go. And due up for the Mariners will be Nelson Cruz, right fielder. Bullpens for both teams are silent. 1-9, and almost a home run there to 110, but 1-9 is another strikeout for DeGrom. And Cruz now 0 for 3. He was going for the downs and came up empty. Here's Seager. Seager's 0 for 2. 3-10 for Seager, and he's going to ground to third. He's 0 for 3. So 2 down, and that brings up Logan Morrison. He's responsible for the only run of the game. His second inning home run with 2 outs and the bases empty. Only difference in the game. 2-8, and this time he's going to pop it up to second. Murphy is there, and the inning's over. So we go to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch time. And this game is moving along pretty swiftly, so I'm not even going to worry about stretching. I'm going to keep going. King Felix, this will be his fatigue inning to begin. And he'll be facing Cespedes, Duda, and Flores. Cespedes intentionally walked in the first and then grounded to short in the fourth. 1-7, ground ball to short again, and that's taken by Miller. Once again, Miller time. He's been busy as Fernandez has been chucking those ground balls. 1 away for Duda. 6-9 against the lefty. 1-9's a double, but that's a 14. So that will simply be a fly to right field that Cruz is able to go get, and there's 2 away for Wilmer Flores. Flores has singled and hit into a double play. 3-8 for Flores. He's going to pop it up to short. Miller again is right there on the spot. Miller time again defensively, and the inning is over. So 7 innings are in the books. Still 1-0. Nobody wants to flinch. And DeGrom's going to come back out. No reason to do any bullpen activities. Now he is set to bat third next inning. So probably will pinch hit for him. King Felix is pitching shutout, so you're not going to pinch hit for him. It's going to be Miller, Zunino, and then King Felix. No way you're taking King Felix out the way he's pitching. There's Miller, 6-9, and that's a strikeout again for DeGrom. One away, and that's going to send it to Mr. Zunino. Zunino is struck out twice. 2-11. And how about this? Oh, a ballpark home run, but we're not doing ballpark effects. It is simply a fly to left. And taking it at the track is Conforto, 2 down. So Zunino got into it, but not quite good enough. And King Felix will bat for himself with 2 outs and the bases empty. We got a 4-4, and that's going to be a catcher X. Catcher again is d'Arnaud. He's a 3. 3-19 as a catcher. 3-19 is a pass ball and a foul out, but nobody's on base, so simply a foul out. And that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and that's all for DeGrom. He's going to go 8 innings, give up just the 1 run. He deserves a much better fate, but he could be the loser in this one. And let's see. Look at the Mets bench and see who they might think about pinch hitting. Probably your only left-hander on the bench is Johnson, although Kadire is a pretty good hitter too. So I would think you would do with Kelly Johnson as my guess. But first things first, d'Arnaud and Uribe get to hit against King Felix. But Kelly Johnson is lingering with a bat over near the dugout, so looks like it will be Kelly Johnson to pinch hit. But here's d'Arnaud first of all. 2-8 for d'Arnaud, and how about that? 1-13 is a home run. That's a 5. It is gone. Travis d'Arnaud has just tied this ball game with a home run. And hold the phone, DeGrom might not be done yet because now we're tied. Or at least he's off the hook if nothing else. It's probably just off the hook because they're going to want some more offense most likely. Now all of a sudden the Seattle bullpen's starting to move around as Joe Beimel, a lefty, and Tom Wilhelms and a righty are both loosening in the pen. And the pen for the Mets, you've got Juris Familia, a right-hander, the closer, loosening in the pen. Also have left-hander Gil Martin. 4-7. 4-7 against the right-hander, and that is a strikeout. He is not tired as of yet. The home run is the only thing he's given up since he reached this point of weakness, so he is not tired yet. So Uribe is out there on strikes for out number 1, and now we need a pinch hitter for DeGrom, and it will be the aforementioned Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson played for multiple teams, or Atlanta and the Mets, I guess, were the 2 teams he played for. He hit 265 combined. I think that was combined totals. So Kelly Johnson will pinch hit for DeGrom, and you can close the book on DeGrom. He's got a no decision unless the Mets score another run this inning. He could win it, but he cannot lose it. And Kelly Johnson now facing King Felix. That's a 2-6 for Johnson. Flies to center, 2 down. So Johnson fails in the pinch, and we're back to Curtis Granderson. Top of the order. 3-10 for Granderson, and that's a home run there. Look at that. Kaboom. Curtis Granderson just takes King Felix deep, and the Mets all of a sudden grab a 2-1 lead, and DeGrom can actually be the winner. And now Familia is loosening by himself in the pen. He is loosening by himself. As Granderson comes through with a go-ahead home run. Here's Daniel Murphy, and that's going to be all for King Felix. He will leave, and they will bring in the left-hander Joe Beimel to face the left-hander Daniel Murphy. So Joe Beimel is in to face Murphy. King Felix is going to go 7 2/3, going to give up 2 runs, which were both home runs. He deserves a better fate than to potentially take a loss, but that's exactly what we're looking at. Beimel now facing Murphy with 2 outs and the bases clear. 2-2 against the lefty for Murphy. He's going to ground to short, and again Miller is there to end the inning. So Beimel does his job, gets his one guy out. And now we go to the top of the 9th with the Mets holding a 2-1 lead. And with that 2-1 lead, they will turn it over to their closer, Jeurys Familia. He led the league in saves during the Demolition League season. In the 2015 season, he had 43 saves. So Jeurys Familia will be on to try to close the deal. And the Mets trying to steal one here in Game 1, pull victory out of the jaws of defeat. Now, let's look at the bench for the Mariners because we could see some pinch hitting. Austin Jackson has not got it done from the leadoff spot, so they will go to a pinch hitter. And one swing of the bat can, one home run can put you in good spots here. So Franklin Gutierrez will pinch hit for Austin Jackson. He does have quite a bit of power against right-handers. So Gutierrez is going to pinch hit for Austin Jackson. Jackson was 0 for 3. So Lloyd McClendon says we need some pop here. So it is Gutierrez. I got him as a switcher. He's actually a right-hander. I don't know where that S came from. Let's take that out of there. It is Gutierrez against Familia. 3-2 for Gutierrez, and he struck him out. So Gutierrez out on strikes, 1 down. And that will send us to Seth Smith. As the Mets try to close it out in somewhat dramatic fashion. 5-8, and that's a ground ball second base X. That is Murphy. He's a 4. 4 and a 17. Probably should have put a defensive replacement in, but didn't think about it. 4 and a 17. Still good enough for a ground ball C, so it's good play for Murphy. And I'm not going to go ahead and change this late in the game. So last chance. It is the league's leading hitter against the saves leader. So strength on strength right here. Robbie Cano. Cano is 0 for 3 in this game, so you could think he is due. If he gets a column 3, he could tie this game. Nope, it's column 4. 4-7. That's a 1-2 single, but that's an 11. It's a ground ball to Duda. He steps on the bag, and the ball game is over. And the Mets walk away with a 2-1 game, and they have to feel like they stole one. 2 solo homers in the 8th inning, one by d'Arnaud and one by Granderson. And what looked like a Felix Hernandez shutout he had going on turns into a loss as DeGrom gets the win. Familia gets the save. And the loss, unfortunately, goes to King Felix. If say unfortunate because he pitched much better than what his fate was. Let's get the totals real quick. Won't take long because there wasn't a whole lot of offense. For Seattle, 1. They'll do the hits. 1, 2. Let's see. Just 2 hits. That's all I had them for. Both of them came in the second inning. Logan Morrison homered and Brad Miller followed behind him with a single. That was it. No other hits. In fact, the only other base runner they had was a Seth Smith walk in the 7th. So they really had nothing going on there. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors for the Mariners. And they only leave on 2. So they left on 2. No errors for the Mets either. Clean game all the way around. Let's check the Mets hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits for the Mets. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. They left on 1, 2, 3. Just 3 because of a couple double plays. So there you go. There is your line score. That's the score sheet I had, but let's go ahead and put the totals in there. 1, 2, and 0, and 2, 6, and 0. So there you go. Game 1 is in the books. Mets pulled it out of their hat with 2 solo homers in the 8th after King Felix had dominated them the entire game. Mets win it 2-1. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 3 left for the Mets. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left for Seattle. Winning pitcher Jacob deGrom, losing pitcher King Felix, and the save to Jeurys Familia. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation of Game 1 of the Demolition League semifinal. And the home team has won Game 1 in this one, and the visiting team took it in the Cleveland-Houston one, where Houston leads Cleveland 1-0. Game 2 of this series will feature, for Seattle, it will feature, let's figure out, Taijuan Walker is the starter for Seattle in Game 2, and starter in Game 2 for the Mets will be the Cy Young Award winner in the Demolition League, and that is Matt Harvey, the Black Knight. So Taijuan Walker against Matt Harvey is the Game 2 matchup, and Seattle must-win situation. You don't want to go down 2-0 in a 5-game series. So hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.